Okay, here's part 2 of the sample test. All right, coming back to this, what's nice here, I'm already isolated. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to go back in, exit. I'm going to graph, there's 2 things I'm going to graph here. I'm going to graph this x minus 4, okay? All right, so I'm going to graph x minus 4. Actually, let me change this. I'm just going to go to, I'm going to go to regular y equals on this. All right, let me exit that. All right, we're going to do x minus 4. X minus 4. All right, I'm also going to do 6. Okay, I'm going to draw it. All right, I can't see it, so I'm going to zoom out, enter. All right, I can see my 2 intersections. G-solve intersection, -2, 6, 10, 6. Okay, so I got -2, 6, 10, 6. Now, once again, the x values that I care about are -2 and 10. -2 is the smaller number. Since I have this kind of line underneath, I'm going to have a closed circle. Okay? All right, once again, if I graph this, it's going to be a 4, up 1 over 1. It's going to be this way, up 1 over 1, up 2 over 2. Okay? It's going to be this way. All right, at 6, 1, 2, 3. All right, so at my points, I got -2, 6, -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? 10, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? All right, once again, I'm going across here. All right? Now, all right, since this is really y is less than or equal to 10x minus 4, that means I would be shading on the outside of this. Okay? I would be shading on the outside of this. All right, for the v, that means when I'm doing my shading, I'm going to the outside. So I'm going to be this direction for each. And once again, you could check, if you picked 11 and put that in there, 11 minus 4 would be 7. All right, 6 is less than or equal to 7. Same thing if I went to that side, -3. -3 minus 4 would be -7. Absolute value would make that positive. So you can use the v, okay, to help you figure out, all right, which side you're gonna pick from the x values. Okay, going down to number 7. All right, going down to number 7, what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 8. All right, so I got absolute value of x is less than -2. Okay, now for the inequalities, this is going to become a logic situation. All right, remember absolute value, any number that I put in there is going to produce a positive result. Okay, all right, so any number I put in there, it's going to be a positive result. You got to ask yourself, can x, all right, if it produces a positive number, can a positive number, all right, can a positive number, my thing is not working right now. All right. Okay, all right, a positive number, is that ever going to be less than -2? That answer is no. So my answer here is no solution. Okay, there's also no intersection here, if you think about it, because what you have here is you have an absolute value here. Okay, you also have a line of -2, which is here. Okay, all right, we've got no common intersection point. All right, now there is a case where this will be not a no solution. Let's go down to this one. It says, Sally and Jane are working on the following problem together. Sally wants to go through all the steps, solve the problem algebraically. Jane tells her that's not necessary. If you look at this, what you do here is you divide both sides by -2. Now what you got there, okay, is 8x, all right, plus 27. And since you divided by a negative number, that inequality goes this way, which makes that -12. Now, you got to ask yourself, we got a negative number. Can a positive number ever be greater than a -12? Always. So this is infinite solutions. Infinite solutions, or all solutions. Okay? Because any positive number is always going to be greater than -12. Okay? So that's that page. Let's go to the next page of your review. Okay? All right, coming up with the equations. Okay? Coming up with the equations. I think this one accidentally got moved. Let me show you how you would come up with these. All right, what you do here, all right, is when I make the absolute value, I got to decide, is this an inequality or not? In this case, it is. All right, so I got x. I got to look at how far are these apart. All right, well, 3 to here, 11, so that's a total of 14. Okay, so it's 14 spaces. Now, what I want to do is find the middle point, which is 7 away. So, all right, so I divide that by 2 is 7. 7 spaces. Okay. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is where I'm going to be. All right, so I've got 7 is my distance All right, this point, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put x minus 4, okay? Because we do opposite of the location, okay? And I'm going to pick less than 7. Here's why. If you want to check this out, all right, if I were to solve this, all right, and add 4, okay, that would be x is less than 11, okay? And if you look at that, I'm going to the left, so it's less than, okay? And that's very key to know. So basically, this is your location. This is half the distance, okay? All right. Let me see if I can move that this problem up. Let's treat these like two separate problems if we can. All right. I think that's supposed to be number 11, or one of them is. And if you look at this problem, okay, -1 to 7. All right. That's 8. All right. So half of 8 is 4. So my distance for this one is going to be 4. Now, since I have the two dots, that's an equal sign. I don't have to worry about the inequality. Now let's find my location. 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that's at 3 right there. So that's going to be x minus 3 equals 4. Okay? For this inequality, right here, okay, I got to look at this distance. That's 1, that's 8. Once again, this is an 8 distance. So halfway is 4. Okay? Once again, I'm going to look at my inequality. Okay? Since it goes to the right here, I'm going to be greater than or equal to, since it's a closed circle. All right? And I got to find out where 4 is. 1, 2, 3, and 4 would put me right at that spot, which is 5x minus 5. Okay? And once again, if I were to solve that, that would be x, absolute value is greater than or equal to 9, which is it's going to the right. So my answers are this one and this one. Okay? And going back, this one for this. So basically, your location, remember we're doing opposite the sign, inside, this is the distance, or half the distance away from the points. Okay? All right, let's see if there's anything else on that page. Okay, the two variable inequalities. All right, what you're going to do here is you're going to graph your anchor point, which in my case here is going to be 0, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? If you remember, 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay? So I'm going to go right 1, up 1, right 2, up 2. All right, I'm going to mirror that. Okay? Since it's less than, I'm just going to have the dashed. Okay? Actually, let me back up for a second. I missed something really important. Hold on. All right? Since I have this 2 out front, I'm going to multiply these by 2. So I'm 2 and I'm 4. All right, I made a little mistake there. All right, I forgot my 2. All right, so I'm 1 over 2 up, 2 over 4 up. Okay, and I'm mirroring that on the other side. I still have the dashed line. Okay, now, since it's y is less than, I'm going to be shaded below. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade below this, which happens to be down in that region. Okay, and there's my answer. This one is a quadratic. Okay, my points for a quadratic are 1, 1, 2, 4. My anchor point's going to be 1 over, 1, 2, and 3 down. So I'm going to use these points. 1 over, 1 up, 2 over, 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Okay, I'm going to mirror it. Hold on, I made a mistake there. I'm going to mirror it on this side. Okay, I'm also going to have a dashed line. It's going to be in the shape of a U. And since it's going to be greater than, I'm going to be shading in this region. Okay? And there, that is my answer there. Okay, so above, below. If you ever get confused with that, okay, look at your point. All right? Even if you've got a region like this, this is the 1 region, this is the 2 region. Look right above that point, it's above. This would be the above. Okay? This would be the below. All right? Even if you had it going the other way. All right? 1, 2. This is still above. This is still below. Okay? All right, so don't get confused with that. All right, I think that's it on that page. All right, going back to finding the equation. Okay, all right, I look at my anchor point. All right, my anchor point's here. Let me check the time real quick. Okay, we got some time here. All right, I have an absolute value equation, so I got absolute value. Okay, now since this is a less than and it's a dashed, I'm going to be y is less than, okay? Because it's a dashed line and it's shaded below. My anchor point is 1, 2. Opposite on the inside, so that's 1, 2 here. follow on the outside, I look to see where my points are, and if I notice I still have 1 over, 1 up, okay? So my originals are always this, but I'm still 1 over, 1 up, I'm still over 2 up, so I'm good with this for my final answer, okay? Moving on, this is a quadratic, okay? Since it's a solid line and greater, or shaded above, I'm going to be y is greater than. All right, my anchor point's at 0, 1. Okay, so I'm going to have an x squared minus 1, okay, or 0, negative 1, apologize. All right, once again, I'm going to look at my points, all right, which normally I'm 1, 1, 2, 4. And in this case, I'm 1 over, 2 down, 1 over, 2 down, okay? So they didn't give me any more to look at there, but just going to that, I got to multiply by negative 2, which makes that negative 2x squared, okay? And that gives me my answer, all right? Given the graph, find some of this information. This is a review problem, all right? So what you want to do is put a point there, which is negative 4, negative 2, okay? I put a line like this. If I look to the right, all of my graph is there, so x is greater than, that's my x coordinate. My range is everything's above that point, so it's y is greater than or equal to 2. The zeros, that is going to be x equals negative 3, which is negative 3, 0 is a coordinate. And my y-intercept is right here. That is going to be 0, 2. Okay? So that is the review. Okay? Some more increasing, decreasing interval stuff. Looking back at this previous picture. All right? This is a positive infinity. Okay? So from negative 4, okay, to positive infinity, I'm increasing. I've got no decreasing. Okay, so here's what my graph looked like. Okay? As x approached infinity, which is here, it was going up. And this is not applicable because I do not have a negative infinity. And I think that's the end of the sample test. So once again, go back and look at your quizzes. Okay? If you did a lot more of the inequalities by algebra, use that. All right, practice the quizzes, practice this, and you should be fine.